How good was Eden Hazard? A player so good, football could not let him retire without a Champions League medal. Eden Hazard was never defined by numbers alone. He was defined by joy, by the feeling that something unexpected was about to happen every time the ball reached his feet. He wasn't obsessed with goals. He wasn't chasing records. He wanted to entertain. And maybe that's why his career ended the way it did. Not perfectly, but poetically. Hazard was one of football's most fascinating dribblers. Quick turns, low center of gravity, the ball seemingly glued to his feet. Defenders could foul him, kick him, surround him. It rarely mattered. Hazard once explained his philosophy perfectly. Often a dribble brings more joy than a goal. People want the show. They pay for it. I tell myself I have to dribble. And he lived by that idea. Between 2012 and 2019, Eden Hazard completed over 900 successful dribbles in the Premier League, more than any other player in that period. In Chelsea's 2014-15 title-winning season alone, he completed over 180 successful take-ons, one of the highest seasonal tallies ever recorded. This wasn't flashy dribbling for highlights. This was dribbling with purpose. Even Thierry Henry recognized it, calling Hazard's style real dribbling, beating defenders and going straight to goal. Hazard didn't just play football, he performed it. Eden Hazard joined Chelsea in the summer of 2012 from Lille for around 32 million euros, just 2 weeks after Chelsea had won the Champions League. At just 21 years old, he adapted instantly to the Premier League. In his debut season, he made 62 appearances, scored 13 goals and laid on 19 assists in all competitions. Within 2 seasons, he was already Chelsea's main creative force, the player defenders ignored at their peril. By 2014-15, under Mourinho, Hazard had truly arrived. Chelsea won the Premier League and Hazard was their heartbeat. He scored 14 league goals and added 9 assists in that campaign. That season, he swept major individual honours: Premier League Player of the Season, PFA Players Player of the Year, and Football Writers Player of the Year. Between 2012 and 2019, he was the only player in the Premier League to register both 50 plus goals and 50 plus assists in that span, while also leading in chances created and successful dribbles. After a dip in 2015-16, when Chelsea as a whole struggled, Hazard responded. Under Antonio Conte in 2016-17, Hazard was central to Chelsea's title charge again, scoring 16 league goals and 5 assists as they reclaimed the Premier League crown. Across 7 seasons with Chelsea, he made 352 appearances, scored 110 goals and registered 92 assists in all competitions, cementing him as one of the club's elite. His Chelsea career ended on a high, but we'll come back to that. For Belgium, Eden Hazard became the face of a golden generation. He made his debut as a teenager and by 2015 he was captain. At the 2018 World Cup, Hazard delivered the finest international football of his career. Belgium finished third, their best ever result. Hazard was magnificent throughout. Driving runs, fearless dribbling, leadership when it mattered. His performances earned him the World Cup Silver Ball, awarded to the tournament's second best player, just behind Luka Modrić, who got the Golden Ball. Still no international trophy came, but he solidified himself as Belgium's greatest. At 27, Hazard stood at the peak of world football, but only one thing remained unfinished. Despite 7 seasons at Chelsea, the Champions League always escaped Eden Hazard. He reached the semi-finals just once. Most campaigns ended earlier, often against Europe's elite. From 2014 to 2016, Chelsea faced PSG in the Champions League knockout rounds 3 seasons in a row. 3 consecutive years. Same opponent, same competition. In 2014, Chelsea lost 3-1 in Paris, with Hazard scoring from the penalty spot. At Stamford Bridge, Chelsea won 2-0, progressing on away goals. Hazard delivered, but the warning signs were already there. In 2015, the first leg finished 1-1. In the return leg, Chelsea drew 2-2 after extra time, and this time PSG went through on away goals. In 2016, injuries took hold and Hazard missed both legs. Chelsea lost 2-1 in Paris and 2-1 at Stamford Bridge. This wasn't Hazard's failing, it was timing, draws, and repeatedly meeting European giants before building any momentum. By 2019, the logic felt simple. Put a world-class player in the most successful Champions League club in history and everything would fall into place. In 2019, Chelsea reached the Europa League final against Arsenal, Hazard's last ever game for the club. Chelsea won 4-1. Hazard scored twice, once from the penalty spot, once from open play, and created another. He glided through Arsenal's defense, drawing fouls, forcing mistakes, bending the game toward him. The penalty was calm and unflinching. The second was instinctive, a sharp movement and a quick finish. And then the assist, a low, perfectly weighted ball into the box that Pedro finished, illustrating Hazard's vision and understanding of space. Pedro, one of the most underrated players we've ever seen, who was in one of the best teams of all time, and he... Oh wait, that's for another video. It wasn't just a brace, it was Eden Hazard reminding everyone one last time what football looked like when it was played with joy. After the final whistle, Hazard suggested it was goodbye, and it was. That night, it was the end for Eden Hazard's Chelsea journey, and what a way to end his final game with a win in a final. 7 seasons, multiple titles, and a curtain call. Hazard joined Real Madrid in 2019. Almost immediately everything changed. Injuries, setbacks, lost rhythm, ankle surgeries. Football is a game of skill, but it's also a game of bodies. And for Eden Hazard, the body gradually stopped cooperating. After joining Real Madrid in 2019, injuries began to define his time in Spain. He suffered a series of lower body problems, especially to his ankles, muscles and hamstrings, repeatedly interrupting rhythm, training, match fitness and form. Over the next 4 seasons, he endured recurring ankle issues, muscle strains, thigh injuries and hamstring problems, often forcing him off the pitch or missing pivotal periods. Between 2019 and 2022, Hazard made just 76 appearances in 4 seasons at Real Madrid, never fully gaining fitness and continuity. This wasn't just bad luck. A fragile right ankle that flared up repeatedly destabilized his balance and led to compensatory muscle problems everywhere. At Chelsea, he had been remarkably consistent. At Madrid, the picture was different. Instead of building momentum, he spent more time off the pitch than on it. What had once been a body built for effortless brilliance became a collection of limitations, hampering his explosiveness, his dribbling, and his ability to influence matches. Real Madrid signed not the Eden Hazard who mesmerized the Premier League, but a player now locked in a battle with his own body. Over 4 seasons, he never played more than 23 matches in a single season. When he played, it was in fragments. When he recovered, something else broke. It was one of football's most frustrating declines, not due to lack of talent, but because his body wouldn't cooperate. He made only 76 appearances, scored 7 goals, and completed full 90 minutes just 6 times across all competitions. Madrid's squad, expectations, and Vinícius Jr.'s emergence further limited his impact. Hazard spent more time off the pitch than on it. Training was interrupted, match fitness was elusive, and confidence became a luxury. A career once defined by effortless brilliance became a battle with his own body. What made it worse was Chelsea won the Champions League only 2 seasons after Hazard had left. But then came the 2021-22 season. Real Madrid produced one of the most memorable Champions League runs, advancing past PSG,
para Benzema.
And Hazard's previous team, Chelsea.
His hat-trick.
As well as Manchester City, before beating Liverpool in the final in Paris. A second half goal from Vinícius Jr. secured the 14th European Cup for Real Madrid. And Eden Hazard, his contribution was limited. Only a handful of appearances, about 80 minutes, never a regular starter, no decisive impact on the results. Yet, when Madrid lifted the trophy, Hazard, by virtue of being a part of the squad, finally had his Champions League medal. Not because he carried the team, not because he was decisive, but because football sometimes closes its circle in unexpected ways. After just a few performances, Eden Hazard was struck with injuries in the Champions League once again, but this time he was able to come back by the Champions League final. The manager added him to the bench even though he was not needed in the match, which then led to Hazard also receiving a Champions League medal. A player whose body betrayed him for years, whose greatest performances came from elsewhere, was finally a Champions League winner. A quiet, almost accidental culmination to a career that had once seemed destined for that pinnacle. In October 2023, at just 32 years old, Eden Hazard announced his retirement from professional football. After 16 years and more than 700 matches played. In his announcement, he said, "You must listen to yourself and say stop at the right time. After 16 years and more than 700 matches played, I have decided to end my career as a professional footballer. I was able to realize my dream. I have played and had fun on many pitches around the world. Now is the time to enjoy my loved ones." Reactions poured in from all across the football world. Fans called him a Chelsea legend. Many lamented how his Real Madrid spell never matched his peak, and rivals expressed admiration for his skill and impact. His final years may have been marked by injury and frustration, but his legacy was already secure. Not defined by Ballon d'Ors, not defined by raw numbers, defined by joy. A player whose brilliance made the beautiful game feel effortless. And perhaps the most quietest, yet most fitting, ending of all was a man so good that football eventually gave him the one honour he had chased for so long.